Oh, we have a treat for you today. We actually have a guest. Liz Wilcox is going to be joining Tearin and I'm really excited for you to hear from her because she's the fresh princess of email. I love that. She also has a passion for one of my favorite, or my favorite boy band in the world, which happens to be NSYNC. And she is like known for her love for that. What I'm excited for you to hear about in this podcast, in this episode, really is the value of email. Some of you are resistant to the concept of email. I know you think it's antiquated. And, as I always tell you, you wouldn't be getting emails in your box if they weren't working. But we're going to talk about how they work and how to create an email system and just create emails that aren't bad and that will really help you with your business. So I invite you to lean in. I should mention as well, too, Liz spoke to Social Stories membership. She trained a couple months ago, and it was revolutionary for so many people in there. So I look forward to you taking a listen. Liz Wilcox. Okay, before we get started, you need to know that I would not know you if it weren't for Tearin. Tearin has been following you, and we're talking email and all the things. And I'm like, we need someone who gets email and makes it. She's like, oh, I know someone, Liz Wilcox. I'm like, wait, you know someone? Who? Anyway, so thank you, Tearin, for introducing me to Liz.
You're so welcome.
Yeah, because you never told me then when Liz came into our world that she was a lover of the best band ever of all time.
I left that as a little nugget for you.
Liz, you can talk. I hope you're not muted. We're just talking about you.
I'm just muting myself. You never know, right? Like when somebody wants you to come in, and I found that I tend to ramble, and most episodes with me are the longest episodes. So I'm trying to be more in sync, succinct. So yeah, thanks for having me on the show. And thank you, Tearin. What a rock star you are.
I am an internet sleuth. So
she is.
Actually, I found you through one of our mutual friends all here, Nicole Beatty. So she was following you. I know she's done things with you. And I was like, hey, who's this Liz girl? So you've lived up to our expectations.
Beyond.
Awesome.
Yes.
Oh, yay. Now you can't see me, but I'm blushing.
Personally, I love your membership. I am a member of your membership because it helps me. Emails are not, I'm a talker. Surprise, surprise. Emails are not like the jam of the thing that I love to do, but you always clarify it. And what you give me helps me resonate with my clients and my list. But today, now that we've done like gushing about you, because we want you back, I crack myself up just so you know on all the things. I feel like in the network marketing space, which is my expertise, we have a lot of people that are saying bye to emails, or they're not even entering the email conversation at all.
Yeah, I don't know a lot of network marketers that do it either. Usually, it's social media, right? Reach out. It's all the same advice. No offense, but we can spot it a mile away. And I think with email, and what I love about email, especially for network marketers, is it allows you to lead with personality, a vision that you have for your people and your values. And it also allows you to market to the people that want to be marketed to, the people that have expressed interest. And it's this much more intimate channel. We like to think, maybe 10 years ago, Facebook Messenger was intimate. You were talking to your friends, but now everyone's using it as a strategy. But hardly anyone, especially in this space, is using email marketing. And email is just effective. If you want to take yourself serious, like it says it in the name, network marketer, you have to be a marketer. And email is the most profitable, effective, efficient marketing channel there is. Like you can pause this recording and Google what, over and over again, no matter what industry, what channel do marketers prefer? And hands down, email marketing wins, since it was, created and saw popularity in the 90s.
Okay. You were trying to be really nice. I'm actually taking notes because there's so much in there that you said. Um, but we're gonna go to the beginning. All right. I want you to go back. I'll stop. Okay, so you said no offense, but we can see it a mile away. I would like you to unpack that polite statement.
Okay. So as someone I was telling everyone before the show that I'm not very much a consumer anyway. I don't buy a lot of stuff. I was telling them that I haven't shopped on Amazon in over 10 years. Even the house that I'm in right now is rented and all the furniture is rented. Like I don't own much. But for some reason, a lot of people want to market to me in my DMs and get me to buy certain products or, get on a call or something like that. And it's just very obvious that this person, we might have met in high school or something like that. But they don't actually know me, right? They know of me, they remember me, whatever, especially my age, I'm 34, like around high school graduation is when Facebook started becoming a thing. So of course I'm friends with all of those people that I knew, how many years? I'm not good at math. It was like 16 years ago or something. But I'm not really friends with you anymore. And so when you pop up into my messages, yeah, I can't believe Roxanne's making me talk about this right now, but but I kind of love it. I gotta love it. It's very obvious that maybe you haven't even scrolled past maybe a few posts. Maybe you saw a picture of me and my daughter or something, but you don't know my values. You don't know that, I don't wear makeup. I've never worn makeup a day in my life. My skin is just naturally this red. It doesn't have anything to do with the toxins I'm putting on my face. I don't have any. But it becomes very obvious, especially when it's a tactic that's used over and over by a lot of different people. And personally, I don't see anything. I love network marketing. I think it's a great way to make money. For me, when I realized I could make money online, I was like, okay, y'all, these rich folks have been lying. Get over here. Like, y'all need to get this cash. And one of my sister-in-laws, actually, she's a really big, or well, I don't know the words, but she does really well with LuLaRoe. Almost the shirt I'm wearing today is LuLaRoe. Almost everything in my closet is LuLaRoe. This woman understands me. She knows me, right? And so she knows, like, the shirt that I'm wearing, she literally tagged me in her Facebook group and was like, Liz, this is for you. And you've been looking for this shirt for 2 years or something. I was like, yes, boom, bought it. And so I love network marketing because I'm able to support my friends, support the people that I love, but I'm only interested in certain things. So just going randomly into DMs, things like that, for the majority of people think like I do. And chances are you've probably seen it too. And you've thought, oh, this doesn't feel good energetically, like go with that. But when you create an email list, you create a list of people, maybe they've already purchased from you, or they're really interested. They said yes to opting in, right? And so you can market to them. They are literally telling you, yes, I'm interested. I want you to market to me. It's an opt-in situation. And it's just so much more effective.
Thank you for your honesty. I appreciate that. We love that here. I mean, we're like the counterculture network marketing coaching podcast. That's what we should call ourselves. As in, like, there's a better way with integrity that feels right and isn't slimy and is not like, oh my gosh, I can see from a mile away. You don't know anything about me. I said I'm a vegan and you're trying to sell me beef jerky. Like, wow.
Yeah. And maybe there's another podcast episode where people teach you how to sell in the DMs. But yeah, for the majority, it comes across very, insensitive or just, unknowing, ignorant, I guess. Not in a stupid way, but like ignorant as in you just clearly don't know me. And when it's done over and over and over again, it's just played out.
It's like those spam calls you get and you answer it and they're like, hi. And you're like, no, you know, from the second you answer the phone,
I don't
Right.
answer them. What are you talking about
Well,
answering?
back in the day, like before,
Okay.
like we would know. I feel like they're getting very sneaky now. Like they call me from like my own area code and I'm like, oh, hey. And I'm like, oh, you got me. And that's what it feels like in the DMs too. Like, what? I'm over here hanging out and you come in, it feels intrusive. Whereas in my email, I'm like ready and I'm like, oh, hey, Roxanne emailed me. Like, what's she saying today? There's a very different feel.
Totally. So Liz, just per perspective, and by the way, everyone listening, Liz has come into our membership social stories and she did a training. Gosh, it was as we're recording, it's like 2 months ago. And can I just tell you that everyone's like, oh my gosh, it was the amount of that was amazing. That was so good. That was so wonderful. We got was and it didn't surprise me. I'm like, I know, she's amazing. But really, you open people's eyes because the way we work in social stories is it's all about, hey, let's build up your brand, not the brand of your company, but your brand on social media.
Yes.
See the full you. Great. It's like the bar. You meet people at the bar, you get to know them. You don't ask them to get married at the bar. We're not asking to hook up in the bathroom. Okay. Like you get to know them. And then if it works, you get them off of social media and onto your list. Ergo email. But I will tell you, I get pushback a lot from my members about email. I'll kind of make them a list, but email, do email. Can I do text message? Why do I do email? No one reads emails anymore. Which I think is funny because I read my emails and I'll tell you when I like look and go, I always want to know what people have going on. So what would you say to the person who's like, no one reads emails anymore, or no one I know reads emails anymore?
I would say, girl, you on your Gmail account right now. I know dang well you pressed that button within the last 5 minutes. Come on. It's always popping up. Nobody reads bad email. That's why you have 10,000. That's why you have 10,000 unreads. But I guarantee you have some that you open. So the inbox, your email is just like the mailbox. You go out to the mail, you pick it up. Oh, that's a bill. I don't have to open that till the 12th. That's going in the junk drawer. Or, we all have that basket or that table, right? That's going to sit there until I need it. And, this is for John. Gosh, he moved like 3 years ago. That was my old roommate. And then, oh my gosh, Roxanne sent me something. What the heck is it? I can't wait to open it, right? And so if you can become like that in the inbox, then like, boom, it's game over for everybody else. Like you're about to get top tier, baby. So in the inbox, we do the exact same thing. You pick up your phone, you're actively searching. It's not like social media where the algorithm is just feeding you what it thinks that you want, right? Where you can like and comment and, it's social media is kind of more like it's gamified, right? Email is not. It's not really, other than spam filters, it's just, it's putting things in a box for you. And it's your job to pick and choose what you like, right? So it's a little different. So it's just like the mailbox. Oh, that's a bill. I'm going to archive that. I'll be able to search for it later when I know the bill is due, right? Oh my gosh, I thought I unsubscribed from this. Why is she still, spam? And then, oh my gosh, Tearin sent me something. Holy crap. What is it she has to say this week? I'm going to open it up right now. Right. So we all have those emails, but, to, the proverbial their point, like, yeah, nobody opens up crappy emails, but we all still use email. Again, press pause, Google, how much time do you spend on email a day? The answer is probably going to be too much. Everybody answered too much. But if you can be the bright spot in someone's inbox, that is going to be, that is going to change the game for you. And like I said, at the top of the hour, talking about leading with a little bit of personality, that vision and your values, that's going to make the connection with people. Like, oh, now I understand why she's selling this. Now I understand, why they're really into LuLaRoe, right? Or whatever. Because you're sharing part of that story. You're sharing, what the company means to you. And it just comes across much more authentic in email than just some, silly DM, or you're making a reel where you're pointing and dancing and it's just super awkward and cringe. And you're like, what am I doing? Burger King's hiring for $20 an hour right now. What the heck am I doing with my life? That's what I imagine. Sometimes you'd be thinking that, right? Sometimes you're like, you know what? Indeed.com really got it going on over here.
Yes.
But yeah, it's just email. I'll end on, email is just such a more intimate channel where you can really be honest. You can get away from the noise because nobody's going to open up those bad emails. But if you can be that bright spot, it's not about subject lines. It's about becoming like, oh, I see Liz Wilcox's name. I see Tearin's name, Roxanne. I'm going to open that right away. I wonder what she has to say this week.
So this is bringing up, and I don't know, Roxanne, if you're getting there from going too far forward, what the heck do you put in your emails then instead of like, this is on sale, buy one, get one, because that's going to quickly turn you into the crap email.
Yeah, that's a great question. And it really, it depends on your company and your style. So I suggest like at first, what feels comfortable for you. Like, I don't care what you put in the emails at first, as long as you're just giving it a go. Okay. Just try it out. But in general, you can always put sales, but I recommend just putting in a little bit of a personal update at first. So something, let's say you email once every 2 weeks, something since the last time you emailed that has happened to you that's going to make that personal connection. So I know, again, going with the LuLaRoe example, because that's my favorite thing. Oh, Roxanne's raising her hand. Hang on. You go ahead. I love that. She is such a professional.
So when you say something that is personal about you, can I say I have a really big goal and I have 2 more days to hit it so I can get Diamond Jubilee status in
Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. I love that. I'm so glad you next time just interrupt me. I could go on forever. But she's so polite, guys. You can't see, but she was like raising her hand. And luckily I stopped looking at the microphone and looked up. I'm trying to talk into the microphone. We were having audio issues before.
You're doing great.
But I love that idea. People want to get behind something, right? People want to rally around someone that is like doing the damn thing. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Right? So that's how I've built all my businesses. So this email marketing thing is my 3rd business. And anytime I launch something or, I want to sell something, I always tell people I have a goal, right? I'm like, I'm going for, when I launched my email marketing membership, I was like, I want to get 100 people in the first 30 days. Let's go. And dang it, I sent those emails out until I hit that 100. And so people really want to get behind this. And giving the example of my sister-in-law, she does this really well. And she's just added email to the mix, but she does it a lot in her Facebook group of, it's my goal this weekend to, sell 10 pairs of leggings or, $20,000 or, whatever it is. I'm making this up. But people love that. It gives them, instead of like, oh, here she goes again. It's like, oh, well, maybe there's something of interest here. I want to help people towards the goal. People love to rally around, a common goal, and they love to be part of a community. So if you're part of her reaching that goal, like, oh my gosh, how good do you feel? And if you're thinking about it from the customer perspective, making them feel good about the purchase is going to help them make another purchase.
So let me caveat that, because Liz, what you don't know about network marketers is if you give us an inch, we'll take a mile. Okay. We'll take a country. So
okay.
So I do want to qualify that. So here's one of the things that I'm hearing. A better place to talk about your business goals is in an email, because it's more intimate, because people are already subscribing and saying they want to know this information. Or if then you mentioned a Facebook group, in her group, people subscribed and said they want to be in the group. So it's actually more appropriate to do it there than to be on social media and be like, y'all, I have this goal, which, remember, everything that I say don't do is probably because I did it before I saw the light. The other thing is we've got to make sure that we're saying it in a way that's like, it's not all about me. And what I mean by that is like making it clear to people that you have a business goal, not like it's if you treat your business like a business, it comes across a lot differently if you're just, then you're like, I need to get, I need to sell 2 more because Diamond Jubilee is waiting for me. That's the faith
Right.
level. Carry on, keep going.
Yeah, I love what Roxanne just brought up. For me, it's about, and I mentioned this earlier, having the vision, right? And sharing that vision with people instead of just, because so many people have done it wrong where it's come off as spammy or, here's another one, right? And so if you can lead with your vision for your business and for the people that you hope to serve, that you hope purchase through you, that's going to come off really authentic, just being your authentic self. Like, what'd she say? Diamond Jubilee, the Dolly Parton level. When you said that, that's the image that came into my head. I'm going to go to Dollywood, y'all. If I hit this, but really when you share the goal, sharing the reason why behind it, sharing your vision. I know, and I'm going to send this episode to Anna, my sister-in-law, because I'm using her as, she's such a good example of doing this. Talking about, when I first, tried on these leggings, and she had gained some weight after pregnancy. And she was like, I finally felt comfortable again. She had 2 children in 12 months. And so, shout out to her.
Yeah.
And, she brings that story forward. And she says, my goal in selling these is to get more women to feel good about, the clothing that they wear and about their bodies. And so that is so strong. Like suddenly we're all like, dang man, I gotta go to her site. Where's her boutique? And when she shares a goal, keeping that, I would suggest to her saying like, it's my goal this weekend is this, sell 10 leggings or whatever. But really like my goal, my big why, my vision is that you feel good. Maybe this can help you. Right. Mm-hmm. And that is something different. Like for me with the membership and saying, I want to get 100 people, most people knew. And what I said over and over again is like, I just want you to get started with email. I know it's hard. It seems really complicated. Like, let me just write it for you. And so they knew the reason why behind the product. Mm-hmm. And then they knew my goal at the same time. So I think hand in hand, those work really well together.
Yeah. It gives the personality to just the product. And that's what we teach, or Roxanne teaches on a big level. It's like why someone's going to buy from you versus heading to Walmart versus ordering from Amazon is because of you and your personality, and they connect with you and they like you. And that's a good way to be able to share like your goal and your why. People are going to connect with that.
100%. So, I wrote down like nobody reads bad emails. So what I'm hearing from you is in order to prevent being a bad email, we need to, first of all, remember it's not about subject lines, which I love that you said that because people get so caught up in the subject line and you're like, no. They need to see it came from Liz Wilcox. It came from Tearin Soa. It came from Roxanne Wilson. I can't wait. What is she going to put in there? Which means you got to put some interesting things in there.
Yeah. So when you first start your list, it's all about setting a firm foundation, right? You don't build a wall, you just lay one brick at a time. And then, one day, you got a whole building or whatever. Right. And so when you start building your email list, if those first few emails are really, really good and interesting, it doesn't matter what, as long as the newsletters follow up with what you promised in the welcome, like that's going to get you to, there's Liz Wilcox. I'm going to open that. That's going to get you past the subject line fear. Right. And so in the welcome sequence, again, leading with that personality, vision, and values. If you haven't written that down yet, dry your hands. I know you want doing the dishes or something, write it down, remember, burn it into your brain, something. So, but really, you just need a few emails where, however you got them on your list, if you promise them some sort of opt-in or lead magnet, making sure you deliver that, and then giving them sort of a one-liner of, your vision of where you want them to go. And then you can add a little bit of personality. So for example, mine is, as much as I love NSYNC and the 90s, I love the idea of, you making money with email even more. So what is some of that personality we were just talking about? Like, what is something you want to put forth in your brand? And then, I love the idea of you feeling good in your clothing even more. I love the idea of, I'm thinking of like toxin-free stuff. I love the idea of you having a toxin-free home even more, right? And suddenly, boom, we're off to the races. If I'm on your email list, I know exactly where I'm going with you. You're going to help me lead a toxin-free life. You're going to help me feel good in my body. You're going to help me with my email marketing, whatever. And I know a little bit more about you. I know, oh, she loves NSYNC. That's hilarious, right? Me too. Or, oh my gosh, her favorite color is purple. She has a purple room full of whatever it is, your thing, right? There's got to be something about you. Was it you, Tearin, that said like, what's the, reason they buy from you versus Amazon, right? Like there has to be some of you inside of that messaging. So make sure you put that, you can put that in your first email, just one sentence, right? Just very simple. And then from there, as long as you're setting expectations, telling people when you're going to email them, what kind of advice you're going to email with, right? So for me, I like to be silly and funny, but I can also, I can bring you the facts, right? I can be really strategic and to the point. So I say something like, I'm going to offer you tons of laughs, but real advice to get real results, something like that. I don't even think it's that, but that's better. I need to go change that. Whatever I got, what I just said is better.
Good thing this is recorded, so you can come back and change
Amen.
it.
Amen. And let that be a lesson in just practicing, right? Just keep putting stuff out there. It'll get better over time. And then if you do social media, pointing them to your Facebook group or your Instagram or wherever, because cross channels can be important, right? And to Roxanne's point earlier about, when you're in a Facebook group, just like email, like you've consented to be in that group. So that's another great way to, I just hit the mic. That's a great way to like pull people, the right people in. So yeah, just in general, making sure you put a little bit of that personality, that one-liner sentence of personality and vision, and setting expectations. And then inside the newsletters, just giving, now I'm segueing into newsletters, just giving that personal update. And then you can segue into whatever content you want to share. If it is, every week I'm putting a new product, I'm highlighting a new product, or, maybe one of my friends' shops or something like that, that's totally fine. Like you're a business, right? The NFL has no problem sending you 10 million emails a day to try to sell you a jersey. Like that's their business. So this is your business as well. So obviously, people are expecting you to share whatever product it is. And I'm sure, your mentors are helping you decide, this week or this month, we're focusing on X. It's totally fine to put that into your newsletters every single week, as long as you're making that personal connection and you're giving some value to it as well.
What is the biggest mistake you see people do when they're embarking on email? Or what's the biggest myth?
Sure. So for me, I think the biggest myth or the biggest mistake is everybody and their mother trying to tell these stories. So if you Google email marketing podcast, I guarantee you the email marketer is going to tell you to tell more stories in email. But you know what? like we're natural storytellers, but most of us are not good at it. It takes a lot of practice, right? You ever been sitting at the table and your auntie is just going on and on and on, and you're like, oh my gosh, if she doesn't get to the point, like I'm literally filled with rage for no reason. She's just telling me about the grocery store. We're laughing because we know we all have that woman in our life. Don't be that person in the inbox. And so, yes, of course, like if you are a good storyteller, go ahead, tell stories. But chances are the majority of us, we're in network marketing because we don't want to be on a stage telling stories all day, every day. That's not what we're good at. That's not what we're best at. And so again, just giving like a personal update, 2 to 3 sentences is enough to make a connection versus trying to tell this story, and
connect
segue
it to your offer,
right,
and you're
and
like,
segue it into a salad mixer, it's just, I mean, sometimes it works. If you're good at stories, if you take the time to write the story and segue, sure, it works. But again, we don't want to do that every single week. We only want to tell stories when we really have a story to tell, right? When it's really interesting. Always remember, like the inbox is like the mailbox. If Roxanne sends me a package, oh my gosh, I'm going to open it. What the heck's in there? If she sends me the same package the next week, oh my gosh, that's weird. I'll open it. The third week, I'm going to be like, I know what's in there. It's this long story I don't have time for. Like, it's going to set in the corner and I'll open it when I have time. And then, suddenly I've got a room full of boxes. That's the same in the inbox. If you're sending out these long stories week over week over week, oh, I know what's in there. I don't have time to read it today. I'll save it for later. And later never comes, right? That's why we have 10,000 unreads. And so the biggest mistake I see is people just trying to be storytellers and doing that week over week. Here's the little sound bite. Ding. It's a newsletter, not a novel.
Wait, hang on.
Hang on. You got a sound effect?
Wait. I'll get the right one.
It's always the last one.
There you go.
Heard a little bit.
It's a newsletter, not a novel. Bring.
I feel
there
like you just like lifted a weight.
Oh, good.
Like I don't have to be a storyteller like that. It's hard when you sit down and write an email and you're like, well, it's gotta be like 15 paragraphs before I can send it. And you're saying a few sentences about a blurb of what's going on.
Less is more. Okay, Liz, listen, you have all these great things and I love that you were abundant and you would give them all to us here, but I don't want you to do that. Wait.
There we go.
Because you have an amazing membership. Okay. First and foremost, that you charge too little for. That's second.
Thank you.
It's true. You do.
It is true. It is true, but there's a reason behind it.
What's the reason behind it?
So she's talking about my email marketing membership. It's $9 a month. So, pick up your jaw. It's okay. And one of the reasons, the main reason why it's been around at the time of this recording, almost a year and a half, and I don't plan on upping the price anytime soon. But when I started my business, maybe like you listening, I didn't have a lot of money to invest. And it all went to like the front end, like setting it up. I had to set up a website, this and that and the other. Right. And I was very committed. My brain was committed. My heart was committed. I was like, oh yeah, move over Jeff Bezos type of commitment. But my bank account was like, girl, are you crazy? Like, there ain't nothing going on in here. Like, you cannot, you can't join that program. You can't buy that course, $20, you're really going to have to go to the budget. You're going to have to count your quarters if you want to get this. And I just found, especially in my arena of like digital marketing, there was no place for people like me. There was no products for people like me. People didn't take me into consideration. It was like, oh, well, I charge this price because I know my worth. like, Maybelline over here, like maybe she's born with it, like, but no one ever took me into consideration, that population of people that I am committed. Like, I really mean it when I say I can't afford this. That isn't an invitation for you to try to sell me harder or, value proposition me, or what's that, anchor pricing. Like, that's me just being, those are just straight facts. And when I started this email marketing business, I was, really wanted a place where people could come and learn the foundations of email. Because like I said at the top of the hour, when I learned I could click a button and send an email and make money, I was like, oh my gosh, these rich people have been lying. This is actually pretty simple. And I'm pissed. And y'all need to get over here right now, because we're about to elevate. We're about to rise above our circumstances. And that's what email did for me. And I'm on a freaking mission to make sure email can do that for you too. Like, if you're like, oh my gosh, I've got to make this work, wherever you're sitting right now, if you're looking around like, this is not the car for me, this is not, these dishes need to rise, whatever you're looking at right now, if it's like, this is not enough, I know I'm meant for more, I want to help you with email marketing. And that's why it's only $9, because I know a lot of people are very committed. They know, they feel it, like with every fiber of their being, that they are meant to rise above. But dang it, that bank account is a ball and chain. And unfortunately, I really do get that. And so that's why I keep it at $9. I have an argument probably, well, nowadays, when I was first starting, probably every month for like a full year with my business coach. He's like, 18, baby, 18, you can do it. And I'm like, no, I just feel like under $10 is something that, you can get in, you can try it out. And I know, if I always say, like, just give me 4 weeks, baby. Like, I'm going to turn you, I'm going to, make you a believer. And, I want to do it at a price that makes you feel good and makes me feel good. So that's why it's $9.
That's awesome. I love it. And I think that that's the whole thing about pricing, right? And you have that ability because you have your own business. If the price feels good to you, then no business coach can tell you otherwise.
Amen. I love that. I always say, like, find a price that delights you. Like, if I'm, about it, then I'm not going to sell it. Exactly. And even network marketers, you can find a product that delights you and a price that you feel like, yes, for this price, I'm super happy to be promoting this, right?
Yes.
There's so many options out there.
That is such a really good point. I think sometimes in network marketing, we fall into a company. And so we're like, oh gosh, I wouldn't normally, I liked the transformation I got. And so now I'm selling this thing because I thought, oh, that'd be fun. And that's not what I want to do. Or it's not, I feel like I'm always having to justify the price or the steps or the whatever it might be. And so I love that you called that out. And there's so many network marketing companies. You can find one that aligns directly and specifically to you, or start one yourself. There's also that.
Oh, I like that. Ding.
Yeah. Oh, wrong one. I did it again. Okay. That actually was appropriate right there.
That worked there.
Oops, she did it again, folks.
Oh, thank you. I like that. This has been fantastic. We love having you on. Such great advice. And I know that everyone listening to the RoxTalks podcast will think again about email. And I think they'll start doing email. I will say those who have leaned into email are loving it. So you've got a special coming up though. So you have the $9, but you also have an opportunity to just get the whole kit and caboodle. Yeah.
So first, I don't even think we said what email marketing membership was.
No, we
were just talking. I get passionate. It's literally my favorite thing. This little $9 membership has changed my life. And I love that it's helping other people change their lives too. But basically, all those questions we were answering earlier about like, what do I put in my emails, all that, personality, vision, values, and like, oh, I just don't have time for this. I just realized I needed to create templates for people. And so every Monday morning you get an email template. It's kind of like Mad Libs from 5th grade, right? Like, give me a noun, give me a feeling, give me what you did last week, right? And so it's just an email template that I write, you take and make it your own. I give you video training with every single template. It's like 3 to 5 minutes. So you can actually understand why you would send an email like this. And you can use your own discernment, like, oh, this one's not for me this week, or, oh yes, this is just what I needed. And at this point in the game, there's over 100 templates for you to already choose from.
Wow.
But a few times a year, I do this awesome sale. It's so fun. You give me a year of the membership, right? $108. That's 9 times 12. So you commit like, yes, Liz, I'm going to try this email thing out. I'm going to listen to you for a year, see what happens. And I give you every other product that I've ever created or will create for the next 365 days, absolutely for free. And so, whether you need help, those email templates, like, yes, I definitely need those, or you need to understand email marketing more, or you just need, we do accountability calls, we do double dog dare challenges. So you actually get your email set up. It's a lot of fun. And it's just $108. And I came up with this idea. It's kind of like Costco. You pay $60 for a year. And you get in and you're able to buy things at cost, right? Obviously, they sell physical products. And I learned that Costco actually, they can lose money on some of the products that they sell, but the majority of the cash flow that they make is from the actual memberships. So I was like, well, I sell, again, going back to, like my big why and who I want to serve. I said, well, I sell digital products. Like any markup is a markup, right? Like it's pretty much all profit after a certain amount of sales. And I thought, well, what if I just got everyone in for a year and then anything I create, like you just get for free because you've already committed and I know you're committed and I want you to have the things you actually need. There are other things that I do that, are very adjacent and complementary to the membership. And so when you commit for a year for $108, you just get it completely for free. Like in May I did. So if you Google email marketing, there's a lot of things going on right now with metrics, like how data is actually, there's more privacy laws coming. And so I just did like a 2-hour workshop on that and how to track your data and make it make sense. And, the majority of people got it for free because they're in the membership and it cost me. Yeah. And, oh yeah. Awesome. Yeah. And it was a great workshop. But it's just a fun thing. It's a great membership. I've got, at the time of this recording, over 1,500 people. Wow. I have network marketers that I've met through Roxanne, other people. It runs the gamut. So I think even being in it to see all different kinds of businesses and industries would also be super helpful for you to get, bounce ideas and get your creative juices flowing. All right, that's my pitch. I'm going to stop talking.
That was good. Well done.
Very juicy.
It was. Yes, it was. Highly recommend that you guys take a look at it. The link will be on this page. And you can also find Liz at it's Queen Liz Wilcox. What is your?
It's just LizWilcox.com.
No, but your Instagram.
I'm on Instagram. I should change it to Queen Liz Wilcox. Thank you. Actually, I'm the Fresh Princess.
That's what it is. Yeah.
You can. My handle is the Liz Wilcox, THE, but you can go or you can search like Fresh Princess and I'll probably pop up. Yeah, that's a funny. Actually, I was crowned. And we'll have to put something on social media. I'll show you guys this crown. But if you're just listening, you'll have to go to social media to see it. I was at an event and they surprised me for being like an inspiring member of the community or something with an NSYNC crown.
Yes.
And so they literally crowned me at this event. And the host of the event, he goes, "It's the queen of emails." And I grabbed the mic and, it just didn't resonate. I was like, no, I'm the Fresh Princess. And it just kind of stuck. So self-dubbed Fresh Princess. So this is the kind of thing that's going to happen if you join my community. It's just really fun. I'd love to be a part of your marketing journey. It's just fun. That's my pitch.
It is. Okay. So last question for you, my dear. Who is your favorite member of NSYNC? And I hope you answer this correctly, because if you don't, we might have to just cancel the podcast.
Okay. It's not Justin Timberlake. Don't worry.
Correct.
She's like, okay, I'm relaxed now. So, and this is where you lean in. This is where you thought you were about to check out of the podcast because you got everything, but this is the real answer. So my favorite is Chris Kirkpatrick. And let me tell you why. He's always been my absolute favorite. So if you again, pause the recording, go Google Chris Kirkpatrick from the 90s. If you don't remember him, he was the least popular in the group, I think. He does not look like he belongs. He looks like he belongs maybe in like an early version of Blink-182 that didn't quite make it. He's got like these pineapple dreads. He's wearing like ski goggles on the cover of their album. He has braces, yet somehow he's the oldest member.
And he's the falsetto. He's the tenor. Yeah.
Yeah. And he sounds like a 5-year-old. But for some reason, I was the kid that didn't belong. I was the kid that everyone looked at and pointed at and laughed. And I don't know, I was very bullied. And so when I saw him amongst JC Chazé, hang on, I'm drooling.
My husband, keep going.
Yes, amen. He's married to quite a lot of women from the 90s. JC Chazé, Justin Timberlake, even Joey. Lance had a glow up. He's the best looking now, but back then he kind of looked like Ellen DeGeneres.
Yes.
But when you look at Chris Kirkpatrick, it's like something is weird. Like he doesn't look like he belongs. But somehow he actually created this band. He's the founding member. We would not have NSYNC today if it wasn't for this.
That is true.
God on earth. And he was just doing his thing. He was singing as loud as he could. He was dancing. He was in sync with NSYNC, right? And that to me was really inspiring. That to me was like, okay, if he can do that, I can do what I can belong somewhere to.
I love that. I think that's inspirational. You made it deep. And honestly, his solos, when he had them, were quite good.
Stunning.
Drive Myself Crazy.
I was going to say Drive Myself Crazy.
Everything I Own. I mean,
y'all need to go check out the Christmas album. Because everyone has a solo in that, even little Lance, and Chris is, they're Christmas songs. Yes. So it's a lot of high notes, and he has a beautiful voice.
Oh, Holy Night might actually, and I love their songs, might be the best song they've ever done.
Yes.
How are you?
That is, that is Justin Timberlake's favorite song, I want to say, that they sang.
I still like that. Anyway.
Dang, I'll talk to you offline about that.
Yeah, I have some strong feelings about Justin, but that's okay. Yeah.
We all do.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any he all right.
Yeah, and I have some strong feelings. But I do. Yeah, but anyhow, I digress. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. We appreciate you.
This was so awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Absolutely.